Hey, what is up, everybody? This is the Great Puckettini. What I got for you this morning or today is I'm going to compare Bobby Petrino to Dave Wommack. Excuse me, not Dave Wommack, that's his daddy. I actually have met his daddy, I'll tell you about it in a second. But anyway, to Kane Wommack, excuse me. And a lot of I'm hearing his name pop up. A lot of people like him and think he'd be good as our head coach at Arkansas. And hey, I like Kane Wommack. Right now he's a defense coordinator at Alabama. But I'm Bobby Petrino all the way. Bobby Petrino, I think, is by far the better pick. And this is a video about why Bobby Petrino should be chosen over Kane Wommack for the next Arkansas Razorback head football coach. This is a full comparison of the two for Arkansas's head coaching position. My focus is on proven SEC success, which is Bobby Petrino, versus unproven defensive coordinator jump, which is Kane Wommack. And I wish nothing but the best for Kane Wommack. He did go to Fayetteville High School. He played at Arkansas, I think, under Coach Nutt. I think he was a fullback maybe. And I actually met his dad, Dave Wommack. You know, I'm a coach as well. I'm not coaching at this time. I coach Pee Wee basketball, but at the time I was an assistant coach in Arkansas, and he was recruiting a young man by the name of Cedric Kirsch at Foreman. And my athletic director at the time knew Coach Wommack, and he was talking to him, and he hollered at me and came over there and introduced me to him, which I knew who he was when I saw him. And I introduced him and talked to him about the young man he was recruiting, and I said, you know, who are y'all? I know you're looking at Kirsch. I said, what are y'all looking at him for? And he said, and I said, you know, to me, I don't think he can play running back in the SEC. He was really good talent, but not at that level. SEC, you got to be really, really good. And Kirsch was really good. I said, I see him more as a outside linebacker in a 3-4 defense, or a defensive end in a 4-3. And he said, well, yeah, we're looking at him on defense, a linebacker type, or a outside linebacker, or a defensive end. And and so anyway, he ended up not going to Arkansas, but he ended up going to Arkansas Tech and had a really good career. But anyway, I actually met his dad and thought a lot of him, and I think a lot of Kane too. Just right now, Bobby Petrino is the better head coach right now. All right, now so let's get into this. Now, first off, here's my argument number one against Wommack is, first of all, the scheme fit. Now, he has an aggressive defense, and it requires elite Alabama-level talent. Arkansas has not consistently recruited players with this SEC top-tier speed and size. We've never been able to recruit that. If his scheme only works with 4- and 5-star defenders, not going to translate well at the University of Arkansas in Fayetteville. Okay, which raises the question: is his success coaching, or is it roster talent? Okay, I firmly believe we are not going to be able to recruit elite players and put them on defense. Those elite players want to play offense, most of them. Sometimes you'll get some that, you know, pass rushing defensive ends, good guys in high school that are really good defensive players, but there's not many of them. Okay, in Alabama's, Georgia's, those guys usually get them. We have to get those elite players and put them on offense, okay? That's how we get elite players most of the time. Now, argument number two against Kane Wommack here is he must hire an elite offensive coordinator, okay? Wommack has no offensive identity or proven offensive system. Arkansas, like I said when I was doing a video on Matt Campbell, they got to average 32 to 35 points a game just to compete in the SEC. You're not going to hold these teams to 20 points per game, okay? You're just not going to do it unless you have elite talent. Now, defensive head coaches struggle unless they're paired with top-tier offensive coordinators. They do, you know. And if he does hire an offensive coordinator who's really well known, it's going to be turnover, because these programs that have a clue about how to win, that's what they're signing for head coaches, these offensive coordinators. And so they're always going to get them from. There's no long-term stability there. He's going to be looking for a new offensive coordinator every year. You know, Coach Pittman kind of had to do this early. You know, how many offensive coordinators did he go through? He had Bryles, and then he ended with Coach Petrino, but did he have somebody before Bryles? He did, but I can't remember. He had the guy that was the head coach and was at Arkansas before, Brett Bielema. And man, I cannot remember his name. But anyway, Pittman had that same problem. Couldn't find an offensive coordinator until he found Petrino. We've averaged over 30 points a game the last 2 games. So we need to keep him, make him the head coach. All right, argument number 3 versus Wommack. He has a limited head coach resume. And that's jumping in the SEC is not the place to build your resume. He was 22-16 at South Alabama. South Alabama, you have really good players there that can help you win in that state. Okay, now they may be the 3rd best in that state, but they're still really good. He only had one standout season there. He was 10-3 in 2022. He did not win a division or a conference title. If he were a rising star head coach, he would have jumped to a Power 5 job. But instead, he went backwards. I think he jumped right to the DC at Alabama. That don't make sense. Usually if you're a climbing coach, ascending, you would go to maybe a Power 5 head coach job, not to a defensive coordinator. That's questioning there. Makes you wonder if he just was having troubles at South Alabama and maybe realized that he just wasn't for him. I don't know, but that raises major questions there. You look at people like that, that just don't happen. Usually maybe if you're a head coach and you're fired, then you might go step down to a defensive coordinator job or something, or a coordinator position. But if you had success there at a small school, usually you jump to a head coaching position. So that's a very big question for me there. Argument number 4, small school success does not translate all the time. So South Alabama did not dominate their conference under Wommack, and you would think they're at that level. If he's a really good coach, it should. He had regression after his best season, which shows inconsistency. He won those 10 wins, but the next year he dropped down. If his system didn't consistently win at the Sun Belt level, how is he going to jump in the SEC? How's that going to work for us? Okay, it didn't win at the Sun Belt level. How's he going to jump in the SEC and succeed? I mean, come on, wake up. We got to be awake. We got to know more than that. I mean, come on, guys. SEC offenses are bigger, faster, more talented across the board than you're going to face in the Sun Belt. He should know that. He knows that, being in Alabama. But he has access to top-tier talent there that we don't have at Arkansas. Okay? Now, Wommack, argument number 5, unproven in NIL portal era. And this is where Dabo Swinney at Clemson, I hear a lot of people talk about him. He's one that just does not have a handle on the NIL and portal, and that's why he's really dropped. And everybody says, right, last year SMU beat Clemson. Beating Clemson right now is not a big deal. They are down. They are not Clemson that they used to be. The portal, NIL, I don't know what Dabo's doing, but he's just not getting the players. You're not seeing the high Clemson draft picks like you used to. He's just not getting them. He's an example of a coach that is really struggling because he's not figured out the NIL portal era. So, Wommack does not run the NIL strategy at Alabama. That's probably Kalen DeBoer doing that. He's never built a Power 5 roster. Arkansas needs immediate portal wins, not a learning curve. SEC head coaching is not a learning curve job. They got to know what's going on right away, or you're going to get hammered. You get hammered anyway because we lost so many recruits. It's crazy. His program building experience is limited to the G5 level, okay, to that lower level. Now, I like that he's a coordinator at Alabama, but and a lot of the coaches that coached under Saban that moved on were successful, but he's not under Nick Saban right now. He's under Kalen DeBoer. And I should look this up. I don't even know if he worked with Saban. I don't think he did. That pipeline there with Nick Saban's gone. So anyway, we need a proven winner, not somebody that's trying to have a learning curve in the SEC. That's not the place to do it. So here's Pro Petrino, number 1. Bobby Petrino, I've told everybody he is my number 1 person for this head Arkansas job. They should have given it to him a long time ago. Just the fact that he took this team that fired all these coaches and he pulled them all together, and all the great teams he's played and had us within a 1 score of winning. I mean, we're so close. He knows how to win, guys. And then if you let him go out and build the roster the way he needs it, he's going to win games. I guarantee you he's going to do it. He's already done it at Arkansas. He'll do it again. People say, well, he's 65 years old. 65 is not that old anymore, okay? He has at least 5 years left in him, I guarantee you, okay? And then you go out and maybe get one of these young guys that we're talking about. But right now, you got Bobby Petrino sitting there. He wants the job. You probably won't have to pay him as much as you pay these other guys, and take that money and buy players. Buy players. Don't spend a bunch of money on Kane Wommack, who and then you're going to have to get him top-tier talent. Get Bobby Petrino some better players, and he'll win. It's the better choice. Hands down, better choice. So Petrino won at Arkansas. Top 5 national ranking. He had 11 win seasons. 7 SEC wins versus ranked teams. Wommack has none as a head coach. Offenses consistently average 35 points per game in the SEC, which we have to do. You have to be able to score at least 32 points a game, or you're not going to be good in the SEC. You are not going to hold teams to 20 points at Arkansas. You're not going to do it. It is almost impossible. Petrino's already proven he can build Arkansas into a national contender. Pro Petrino number 2, his offense wins in 2025. Offense wins. In the modern SEC, it's an offensive arms race. You got Georgia, LSU, Ole Miss. You know, Georgia's still really good defensively most of the time, probably more than offense. But LSU and Ole Miss, LSU may end up hiring Lane Kiffin. You know, Ole Miss, that is where Lane Kiffin is. We're going to be playing those teams. That's who we're paired with, right? So Petrino guarantees top-tier quarterback development and explosive scoring. I mean, look at the firestorm everybody hit about K.J. Jackson. Why have we not been playing K.J. Jackson over Taylor Green? And I have said over and over on these YouTube videos and Facebook, I said K.J. Jackson's going to be better than Taylor Green. I've been saying it all year. But Taylor Green, guys, is going to go down in history as one of our best quarterbacks in the history. Now, everybody's saying, oh, how horrible he is. Horrible. He's had some bad plays. But my goodness, the guy, if I'm telling you right now, look at his stats. Compare him to other quarterbacks in the country. He would be in the Heisman Trophy running if we had won more games. Guys, come on, wake up. Bobby Petrino had to pick him at the last minute. Okay? He had to go find a quarterback that was going to run his offense. You know how hard that is? You think Kane Wommack is going to be able to do that? No. You think K.J. Jackson going to hang around if Petrino leaves? Probably not, unless you pay him so much money, it's the most he'll get. Everybody saw, these coaches saw how good he did. They're going to come after him. Hopefully he's loyal to Coach Petrino. Even if he's not, Petrino will find another one. He'll get Grayson Wilson, and he'll build him. You know, I mean, Petrino will have a top-tier quarterback. He will, guys, and you have to have that in the SEC. Kane Wommack's not going to have that. All right. Bobby Petrino's schemes elevate 3-star talent into elite production. Arkansas needs instant offense, not a defensive rebuild. Okay? We do need better defense. We need better players. That defense coordinator we got right now, I'd take him. Leave the coaches where they are right now. Get better players, or you can hire some more coaches, whatever. Hire a better defensive coordinator. But he'll have to be paired with a great defensive coordinator. He's shown his defenses have been in the 20s and 30s. I showed that the other night in another video I did. Pro Petrino 3, culture and identity. He fixes the quarterback culture immediately, which you know, people are saying that about Taylor. I'm just saying that K.J. Jackson is going to be our next one if we keep him. He creates a wide receiver development pipeline. I mean, you know, he went out and got really good receivers, Sharp, Omega Blake, which Omega's kind of fallen off a little bit, but he's still a good one. We can get even better, okay? He adds a clear, modern passing identity to the program. Arkansas becomes dangerous day one on offense. They already are. They're a top 5 SEC offense right now. Before they fired Coach Pittman, they were in the top nationally, okay? And they've fallen off a little bit, guys. But listen, these kids have had their world turned upside down. You know, these coaches they came to Arkansas to play for are not there. You know, and I mean, and then Coach Petrino has had to come in, pull them together, and get them in the same direction. He's done that. It's not like they've been getting blown out. They've been in the games, had a chance to win, guys. Just for doing that alone should give him the head coaching job. All right, Petrino number 4. He energizes the fan base. I hope he does. He energizes me. That's who I want. Hiring Petrino grabs national attention immediately. Everybody knows Bobby Petrino and all the stuff he's done in the past. But I'm going to tell you guys, these other coaches, they're doing the same type of things he was doing too. I'm sorry to tell you, I've been around them. I know what goes on. These other coaches know it too. Some of them get caught. Hugh Freeze got caught. Petrino did. We'll leave it at that. But I guarantee you, these other Lane Kiffin. You think Lane Kiffin don't have, All right. Wake up. Let's be in the real world here. I hope he would reunite the fan base behind a proven winner. He boosts recruiting and transfer portal interest. When you see Bob Petrino, those offensive linemen want to come there because you're going to have a good offense. Your quarterbacks, receivers are going to come there. Running backs, everybody, they're going to want to come play for him. Wommack hired be low buzz, low energy. Offensive guys not going to come play for a defensive coordinator that they don't know who the OC is going to be. That might change the next year. I mean, it just don't make sense, guys. Come on, we got to wake up. It does not make sense. And it's Hunter Yurchek's job to get out there and get these boosters behind Bobby Petrino because he's the best guy for the job. I heard Frank Fletcher Dodge likes Bobby Petrino and gave Petrino a lot of money for the offense last year. I heard that. It was money well spent. We had a very good offense. We still have a pretty good offense. Still do. I think Taylor's beat up. I think that's why Taylor struggled a little bit. He has to run, and those running quarterbacks get hurt. I think he's beat up, and that's happened to him the last 2 seasons, So that's why we need a guy like KJ that does not have to run as much. He can run. My goodness, he had some good runs this past week, but he don't have to, okay? He don't have to do that. Where Taylor kind of has to do that. He's not as good of a passer as KJ. KJ's a better passer. I've said that all year long. You go back and look at stuff I've said. KJ Jackson's going to be a heck of a quarterback. We need to keep Bobby just because of that. But anyway. All right, Pro Petrino number 5. He's day one. Coach Petrino's ready. He's ready right now. He doesn't need time to learn SEC roster building. He already understands the Arkansas boosters, the culture, the expectations. He knows what's expected. And like I said, supposedly Fletcher Dodge likes Petrino a lot. I hope he does, Frank Fletcher. Frank Fletcher, help us keep him. Do like John Tyson did, who hired Calipari, There's not a John Calipari football coach out there. We have him. It's Bobby Petrino. Okay, and think Calipari struggled too at Kentucky there for some years. It's not always sunshine and rainbows. Okay, Bobby has built staff, schemes, and game plans for SEC success. He's done it right now. Arkansas needs a fast turnaround. Petrino provides that. Because I'm telling you, we're in for a world of hurt next year. We've lost 14 commitments. If we don't go in the portal and sign a ton of really good players, we're going to struggle like crazy next year. It's not going to get any better. Kane Wommack will come in here and get his head kicked in all year long. Arkansas State may beat us next year if we still have them on schedule. Speaking of which, they should have beat Iowa State. Big Matt Campbell everybody likes. Arkansas State had them beat before the officials step in and helped them, kind of the way they did versus Memphis too, versus us. But anyway, and that's all I got, guys. I won't regress into that, talking about the officiating. Holy moly, we had some bad officials. Mississippi State, Memphis. Good grief. I mean, that should be 2 wins right there. Just crazy. But anyway, guys, I've kind of rambled on here, but hopefully I'm showing that Bobby Petrino is a better head coach for Arkansas than Kane Wommack. I like Kane Wommack. I think he's doing a great job. I just got questions about him. Why did he go from South Alabama to the defensive coordinator job? Why didn't he keep ascending the head coaching ranks? That's a major question. So now we're going to give him our head coaching job and say, you're the savior. Come help us win. No, that's not. We got the man for the job right now. Bobby Petrino, he is the man we need. He's won. He's kept us competitive through all this mess. That's who we need. I'm sure there's people that we are not hearing about. Like thank Coach Pitt when we hired him, we didn't hear about him. heard about Calipari there at the very last in basketball. I'm sure there's somebody we haven't heard about, but really, I'm at the point right now where I don't care. I'm Bobby Petrino. He's won at Arkansas, knows how to win. He can do it again. He's being successful right now with this group we have, you know. But anyway, that's all I got, guys. Thanks so much for watching. I got to go over here to stop my video. Like I say, thanks so much for watching, and thanks for spending some time with me today. You can see I have over 300 videos here. I had this versus Matt Campbell, put that out last night, and then try to do a video a day. I do basketball videos as well. I just put out a breakdown video on that Jordan kid that Arkansas has offered. And I kind of made a cartoon picture out of it right here. But anyway, he's not committed or anything. We've just offered him. So I have all the players that we've, signed last year. I do breakdown videos on them. I have all kinds of stuff here. So if you like this video, please hit that thumbs up button and then subscribe to my channel. I'm trying to keep building, keep growing, man. I love Arkansas sports. I have football videos, basketball. I got baseball as well, and I coached all these sports and played them. Was a head football coach for 3 or 4 years, and I was a coach for over 15 years. Junior high head coach for a long time, over 10 years. But anyway, and if you really like the video, please click that bell, and that shows notifications whenever I make a video. You'll know it, and you can come watch it. And please leave me a comment if I mess something up. Hey, tell me. I make mistakes. It's hard doing all that research. I didn't put as many numbers and stuff as I do sometimes, because it's just a clear point of view to me how Coach Petrino is better than Kane Wommack. I mean, I like Kane Wommack. I knew his daddy was a nice guy. I just met him one time, and I thought he was a good coach. But anyway, Bobby Petrino is the man for the job. That's in my mind. There's no question. He should be given the job right now. Right now, today, we should tell him, hey, you're the head coach. But anyway, that's all I got, guys. Thanks so much for watching. Have a great day, and have a happy Thanksgiving too. If I don't see you before then, I might make another video tonight, depending on if I hear anything. But I've been hearing all this Kane Wommack now, and it just don't make sense, guys. It just don't make sense. Bobby Petrino is much better. We'll be in much better hands with Bobby Petrino than with Kane Wommack. But anyway, thanks so much for watching. Have a great day. Please hit that thumbs up. Please subscribe, and please click that bell so you know when I make some videos. And hey, comment. Let's talk about it. Have a great day. Thanks so much. And as always, let's go hire Bobby Petrino. And as always, go Hogs.